Hey, welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We didn't do the standard thing that everybody else does after the new year clicks over last show, and we just kind of talked, and I frankly forgot about it. That last week was our first show in 2016, but 2016 sure has started off pretty rocky in some areas of the world, particularly of which we're talking about the attacks in Cologne and Hamburg, Frankfurt, on New Year's Eve. And Doc, I know that you've been following this pretty closely. It's my understanding that the reporting on this and that it's still pretty confused as to really what the facts are. But it appears that a lot of the assailants or alleged assailants are from North African or maybe possibly Arabic descent, and this is stoking a lot of rage of the folks that have concerns about Germany's immigration policies, and a lot of anger for women, people that, and everyone should be against this, but people who are against violence against women. And so I wanted to know what your thoughts about this. I mean, when we do the rundown, we usually go back and forth about what we want to talk about, but this is something that you brought up. Yeah,
this is I will tell you, this is the background with what we know now. From trusted sources, people like Reuters, AP, Fox News, which is always a trusted news source, Al Jazeera. So, which I also trust, even though it's usually from the other side. In particular, there's a town called Cologne, Germany, and specifically on New Year's Eve, 90 women reported to the police that they had been raped and assaulted by gangs of men, ranging in age from teenagers to middle age. All these men were described as dark Middle Eastern types. That's how they were described. The official accounts still have not released what the descriptions of these men are. The mayor of Cologne doesn't say anything. Police don't say anything for a week. They don't say anything for a week investigating all these things, all these alleged occurrences. But apparently what would happen is a girl would be walking down, or a woman would be walking down the street. Several men of this description would go and grab them and take them off and sexually abuse them in some way. Most of these women were raped. All of them were groped, hands down the pants. I'm not going to get any further than that. You can just imagine what happened with a gang of men and one girl. And all these things were reported. It was swept under the rug until one of them went to the media and said, this is what happened. Media started reporting, and pretty soon it's expanded out. The day that they release all this information, the mayor of Cologne essentially gets up there and blames the victim. Says, well, we have to welcome these new people in. We're going to spend millions of dollars telling these men and our refugee friends that we've welcomed in that, geez, raping women is wrong, and we don't do that. And that's not really what this celebration is for. And then she went on and took the extra step of, you have to watch where you are. You can't dress the way you normally dress. You have to realize that you can provoke these men into this kind of stuff because that's their culture. That is what the issue is about. Not necessarily that these women were raped, which is terrible, but the fact that, one, they are basically trying to cover it up. 2, they're not releasing any of the details beyond what I just told you. And 3, they essentially blame the victims. That has created a massive firestorm in Germany, to the point where Angela Merkel, has said, we're going to have to revisit our refugee and immigration system. That's where it stands now. Now, I will tell you, nobody should be raped. Nobody should be groped. And the bottom line is, men all over the world should know women are not objects. Do you have anything different? Obviously you looked this up because you're a smart guy. You're always looking stuff up.
Well, the part that I read is that the Chancellor, Angela Merkel, did not come out and directly say that there was going to be a substantial change to the acceptance of asylum seekers or immigration, but that the new law that's been proposed in reaction to this is going to make it easier for people to get deported who are accused or convicted. I assume convicted of this kind of crime, of a sexually violent crime. I guess what I find to be, and one of the criticisms that resonated with me of the reporting of this story was from somebody who was attached to, I believe, Der Spiegel, but I'm not entirely certain it wasn't like an AP contributor. It was more international wire, saying, hey, look, Germany, just like every other country really, has been having a problem with violence against women for a long time. I think they said like something about in Germany, 1 in 3, maybe 1 in 5 women could expect to be, have some kind of like a victim of domestic abuse. Whether or not that's sexual in nature is sort of irrelevant, but that they have these problems in Germany that women are targeted a lot by men, and they resented this hijacking of what they called, and this is from this reporting that I read, these right-wing folks coming in and hijacking this issue to blame migrants or blame these asylum seekers, when now there was reporting that said that some of the men that were accused, they had papers from Syria or asylum seekers from other parts of the world. That's certainly true, but it's a small number compared to the number of reports that came in. I don't want to. I'm not trying to set that up, but that is a certain criticism. Like, hey, we've been talking about this for years. You all have said, we've got equity for women. We've got, women have it better than they've ever had it. But now there's this epidemic of rape against women because it's the brown people that are doing it. That's one of the criticisms that I would kind of get your perspective on.
All right. We're going to take a short break after Blake invoked the race card.
You brought it up.
I'm just saying, you're the one talking about brown and skin color. We're going to be back right after this break. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We're going to continue on this discussion about this particular incident in Germany and how widespread could it be in Europe. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be back right after.